Hey guys, so it's a little bit blustery out today and I'm just filming this with my cell phone, but I thought you might like to see this plant because it has a little bit of history. This is a coast-to-coast hosta. This is the very hosta that Aaron had in one of his containers for our container competition last year. It was the one on the very far end underneath our mulberry tree in quite a bit of shade. And if you remember last May, we had a huge hailstorm that ripped through our area and the hostas were up and looking pretty nice like this at that point, and it just ripped the leaves to shreds. So the storm has passed. This is what the hail did to a bunch of my hosta leaves. And I have a garden tour here in 2 weeks. So sad. I'm out here surveying the damage after the hail came through a little while ago. Look at my hostas. Look at how sad. They are so shredded. There was a couple that were a little bit more protected. Like that one's not too bad. It has a few leaves down below and the upper part's okay because it's underneath canopies, but the hail was blowing in like this direction at everything. And I have a ton of hostas over there and I've had to cut back. Like I have this whole bag full of hosta leaves. I just don't want to cut this one up. This one's so pretty. What a big bummer. So we ended up cutting this plant back a little bit, and then we just ended up cutting the whole thing back because the leaves were just bad looking. And this last container is Aaron's, and he was just about ready to come out here with a white flag the other day and put it in the pot. But I came out with my pruners and I cleaned it up. Now this one has had, it's like been through the ringer. So first of all, we had the hailstorm and it just tore up our hostas all over this whole property, and the whole thing was just battered. So I got rid of all that foliage, but then shortly after that hailstorm, we have a huge mulberry tree right above us. A branch that had, I don't know, like a diameter of 10 to 12 inches, huge branch. It looked like a small tree, fell out of the tree. It fell kind of over here, but this had some small branches that fell all over the top of it. Then we had the guys come to clean up the branch and then to do some pruning in this tree, and of course it got a little bit more damage from that. I think it will do okay though. I noticed when I was pruning that there were earwigs running around in here, so I baited for those. I put more slow release fertilizer in here, and then with the prune job I think it'll just take some time, but it should rebound. So this one will just be an interesting one to see progression. I know that a lot of us deal with stuff like this. It just happens, you know, not always do we have perfect looking everything in our garden. So anyway, I thought it might be encouraging for you guys to see this, to know that we deal with stuff like this just like some of you guys do, and you just have to roll with it. It's part of gardening. So I wanted to show you this because I mean, it shows you the resilience of a plant if you're just patient with it and let it take its time to grow back. So at the end of the season, it did look fairly decent by the end of the season, and we popped it out and put it in this plastic container and wintered it over in our greenhouse. This is what it looks like this spring. And I'm just so thrilled with it. So I'm actually planting it right underneath our golden rain tree. I'm gonna fill this whole area up with hostas. You can see my poor hostas over there. I set them out and then a wind gust came through, so I'm just leaving them down for now. Less damage if they don't keep falling over. But coast to coast is going right here, kind of next to these Indigo Girl salvias. It's weird, right about where that post is where the shade starts. So I think that hostas would really love this spot right here. Anyway, I'm gonna get it planted and then I'll show you what it looks like. Super weird using a cell phone out here. Is that the right angle? Who knows? The root ball's looking pretty healthy. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love it. And there we have it. Isn't that the perfect plant for that space? I love it. So just quick facts on the coast to coast. It grows about 30 inches tall, 36 inches wide, and I think it's a zone 3 through 9. And I just love the deep ribbed chartreuse green leaves. I think it just brings such a bright pop. Anyway, super happy with this plant, and I'm super thrilled with its progress throughout last season, and then being able to use it this season is just such a special thing. So anyway, see you guys later.